Back to that date of June 15th, 2021. A lot of stuff is inconsistent with that date when it comes to Summer Wells. The timeline doesn't add up. The places they went is questionable. The sheer fact that the grandmother, Grandis, had to go to the hospital because her knee was injured, however, had enough to be able to be mobile and walk around in a out of the way, rough and rugged area. And honestly, T-Bye hasn't told us if anybody has seen them out there. Even if they went to that secluded area, someone would have saw them drive there, wouldn't they? If it was, it was pretty nice out there. So there must have been some people at the other park, and you had to go through it to get to that part. I wonder, did anybody see Candace drive over there that day? Another thing about that day is David Dobson said that he was told the boys went swimming on that day. Okay, I thought they were at home. Locked inside. No one in, no one out. And what about that picture of Summer? The last video of Summer. That's her proof of life picture, I believe. That voice on that video is not Grandis. It is not Grandis. To me, it sounds more like Allie. But someone younger. Maybe Hunter. But not Grandis. Which wouldn't make sense because Candace said she dropped Hunter off. Did Hunter go home with her? Did Summer, yes, fall asleep on those not milk bottles? Because those are not milk bottles. There's no condensation on them. They're not sweating from the drive from the store to the house. No. They may very well be spackle from the King of Spackle. Or they might be, cement or something. But they are not milk jugs. Yeah, they're milk bottles, but they ain't milk jugs filled with milk. Bottom line there. And my fact for that is, no condensation, sweetheart. None. If you had just come from the store and you're it's a 15-minute drive from Hunter's house to yours, then that means you should have had condensation or sweating of the milk. And you didn't at all. Summer's head wasn't wet. Her clothes weren't wet. The bottles weren't wet. You're lying. I personally believe that photo was staged. And what really bothers me not only is that I think it's staged, but was Summer in a car seat? No, she was not. TBI could have given her a ticket or gotten her for that. That alone is child neglect. Then you got the boys. And yes, I know there are 13, 11, and 9, okay? But there is stipulations with leaving children at home because there's a specific amount of hours you're allowed to leave a child at home per age. 8 hours gone, that's a long time to leave 3 little boys at home without a phone that works, without a parent, without any way to contact anyone in case something goes wrong. I've had thoughts before that on that date, and this is one of my thoughts, that Summer didn't go with them to go to the hospital and to get Hunter. That she was left with her brothers, and that they were left to watch her. And that maybe Summer was playing on her swing, went to jump on her swing, fell and hit her head, and it caused a closed head wound, and it was traumatic brain injury, and she passed away. And the boys had no way to contact anyone. Or they were playing hide and go seek, and Summer was running down the stairs, and she fell and hit her head, and again didn't make it. That has been a thought of mine for a while, but I don't think it happened on that day. When Donnie was sitting there with Josie in front of the camera, you could see the pain in that little boy's eyes. You could see the fear in that little boy's face. I know those boys know what happened to Summer. You can see it. You can see it in Josie's face that day. And when Don was holding him on his shoulders, it gave me a flashback to my ex-husband and the abuse he did to me. when we would go into public and he wanted me to behave and know that if I didn't behave, I would get his wrath, he would put his arm around me on my shoulder like Dawn did. And then he would squeeze it so fucking hard I'd almost scream if I did one thing out of step, or if I said too much, or if I talked too much, or if I didn't look a certain way. And when I saw Donnie with Josie that day, that's all I saw. And it gave me a horrific trigger flashback. There is so much about this case that makes no sense at all. And I'm sorry, on June 15th, I do not believe that was the day Summer went missing. I do not believe it. I believe she went missing days or weeks beforehand. That way it gave time for any trace of Summer to have passed to go away. And I'm sorry, a lot of people are like, oh, where would they take the body? They don't have nowhere to go. Okay, you could drive 5 miles away from that house and there's enough woods everywhere. Tennessee is nothing but woods. I go to visit my sister-in-law who lives in Kingsport. I know. There is nothing but woods. All Candace had to do was drive out away from their house in any direction, 5 miles, 10 miles. There's enough woods that she could have stuck Summer anywhere, and it would take years for people to find her. There's cliffs, there's ravines, there's rivers. It's not rocket science here, folks. Tennessee has no signal because it's nothing but woods. And people are like, oh my God, where would she hide her? They don't, I love Michelle After Dark, but she had made that comment one time before, and I thought, you could drive 10 miles in any direction, and there's more than enough place for Candace to hide a body. More than enough place. And I'm sorry, from what we hear from Josie, Candace toppled Dawn. You don't think she'd be strong enough to carry and get rid of Candace, or get rid of Hunter? I'm sorry, not Hunter. Oh my God, listen to me. Get rid of Summer? She's strong enough to do that. And she avoided CPS, which is why they came one day and then they were coming the next day after Summer went missing. She was avoiding them, as usual. That's what Candace does. And my thing is this. When you listen to what TBI says about Summer Wells, they say the day Summer was reported missing. Not the day she went missing. The day she was reported missing. It's all about details, folks. Details. The small, the big, the hidden. Why did they say the day reported Summer went missing? Not the day Summer went missing. Could that be perhaps because I've watched the closed circuit TV and there was no evidence of Summer that day? Or that they talked to people at the places that allegedly Candace went and no child was seen? Could that be it, folks? And let's go back to the drugs, okay? I'm going to go back to one topic I really don't like saying, but we're just going to do it. I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Let's say Dawn and Candace are innocent, okay? We're going to go there. Not that I think that at all, okay? But I'm going to go with it for a second. They're on drugs. So the drugs could be the reason why they're showing no emotion. I mean, yeah, that's true. And maybe Candace was so drugged out she fell asleep and Grandis fell asleep, as we now know. Thank you, Grandis, for splitting that one out. And maybe Summer went and did her normal runoff, which, of course, they claim she never did. I just don't understand why they say that, but we'll get back to that. In another video or in this one, I'm not sure, but we'll get there. But maybe when they fell asleep, because there was no adults watching them, Summer ran off. And that perpetrator that had child pornography saw her. And it was a perfect opportunity to grab her. I don't believe a stranger took her if, like I said, I'm doing the devil's advocate. If Candace was innocent, I believe it would have been someone they knew. Someone who knew that Candace did not pay attention to her children. Someone who knew that Summer liked to run off. Someone who knew the family. That could be the only way I would think they would be innocent of Summer, per se, going missing. But here's the big thing that is why I can't go with they're innocent. There is absolutely no emotions at all, period, whatsoever. And yes, I know drugs can mute emotions, but the things they did, the shenanigans they did online, all the crap they pulled, the games they pulled on Mary, all that is not explainable if you're innocent. It's not, folks. How could you ever be innocent and play those games? And I find it odd what Jose described Candace as, because I could never see her like that. Not with the way we've all seen Candace. And now that Donnie's gone, boy, she's way off the rails. I mean, who caught that whole line of, anybody who's talking about Summer, I want those comments to leave. We're not talking about Summer right now. This is all about my friend. Hello? There is a little girl missing. Betty, what the fuck is wrong with you? God forbid someone in your family go missing. Are they going to be like, oh, never mind. Don't worry about your family. No, it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. What the fuck is wrong with people, guys? What the fuck? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to use what the fuck a couple times with him. Benny, you are skis. The scum of the earth. A puta. A pendejo. I could think of other words in other languages, but I'm going to stop at those. No, and Astunus, too. I'm going to go with that one, too. Okay. All right, now I feel better. Sorry, I am worse than sailors. I admit it. But I cannot even wrap my head around this. I'm a mother who buried 2 children 5 months apart, and every day of my life I miss my daughters. Yes, I have a living daughter, and she's a beautiful mini-me and drives me up the wall sideways, but that's okay. I love her to death. She is going to be 26 this year, and I could not fathom my life without her. Not for 1 second. I would go out of my mind. My sister told me when my daughter died, she was only 13 at this time, guys. She had saw them shock my daughter, okay? So she was traumatized. And she told me something that I don't remember. And this is why I know how a parent would act when their child's gone. She said I walked around with my daughter's blanket and I made it look like there was a baby in it. And I had the pacifier stuck in it where the head would be. And I walked around saying it was my dead daughter. When I was in the intensive care psychiatric unit, I don't remember it. And my sister thought I would never come back. I have no memory of it. I barely have any memory from the time my dad said, your daughter's dead, you're getting a fucking divorce, till when my daughter Clarissa was 4 years old, which was 5 years later. I don't have memories of it. Because I disassociated. I couldn't handle it. It was more than I could handle mentally. I know that Michael's mom is going out of her mind trying to find her child. There are so many parents out there that you can tell genuinely are heartbroken over their children. And yet you got Don and Candace, the Don and Candace crazy show. You got Grandis finally coming out after 9 months of Summer being missing. I'm a grandmother to 3 grandchildren. My 2 grandchildren are Hunter James Dean. He's going to be 10 this year in September. My little Ethan Ray Dean, who is 5, is nonverbal autistic. He's my beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed Puerto Rican baby, which I think the Puerto Rican washed off on him. I don't know. And then you have my Damien Edward. And he is 3. No, sorry, he is 4, because Damien and Ethan are 18 months apart. If they went missing. Actually, let me rephrase that. Ethan went missing. Because of his autism, he liked to run away and hide. And my daughter had cameras in her house and everything, and he got out. And she couldn't find him for an hour. And I literally was going out of my freaking mind. I was losing my shit. Okay? I was crying, screaming. I was freaking out, trying to call the cops. I was flipping shit, y'all. Okay? I'm a Mimi. I was going out of my mind. No one knew where my grandbaby was. I lost my shit. And yet, here you got Grandis, who's lost a daughter, and now lost a granddaughter. And she's too busy to go on camera and say how she feels, or that she's worried about her granddaughter, or beg for her granddaughter's return. Really? It's like you, Dawn, and Candace have already accepted the fact she's gone. Like, gone. Like, permanently gone. I am really interested to find out if TBI or Hawkins County, the failure, if they have proof that Summer was even alive on that day. If they have proof of life. If there's any closed circuit TV that caught Summer on camera. Like when they were in the driveway of the Walgreens. Or when they were at the watering hole. Did anyone see them go? I don't know, folks. I think there's a lot of evidence unseen. Graham, I'm trying to do a video, sweetheart. Sorry. Troublemaker. Come on, boys. I'm trying to do a video. Now watch. Branch will do it next because he'll get upset. There goes my Branch. Yes, I do know which bird it is by way of the crow. Oh, good God. Now they're never going to shut up. Anyway. There goes the wings. And that's Trouble. Yeah, Trouble likes to flap his wings. I hear you, Trouble. Before he crows. But anyways. I would be interested to find out if they were ever spotted on closed circuit TV that day. And the other thing is, when you go to the hospital, you're gone for a while. I've sat in a hospital room. Like 5 hours at times. And her knee was no emergency. Therefore, she would be put at the back. Not up front. So for her to be like, oh, we dropped her off at 8. Or, well, 9. Probably about 9. Oh, and then before 11, she's already ready to go. Unless Tennessee is like Superman when it comes to that, seeing patients, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way she was done that quick. And secondly, hi, Skylar. Yes, he screams, I love you. And secondly, what about the fact they were supposed to go fishing and there was no fishing poles in that truck? Candace put on Summer's swimsuit when it was still cold outside for a child who doesn't like cold. That's kind of interesting. Then they were going to go fishing. Then it was the swimming was a fly of the moment idea. Okay, well, which is it? Were you going to go near the water or were you not? Why would you put your daughter in a swimsuit if you weren't planning on going in the water? Like, come on now, Candace. Get your shit in order. Get your facts in order. I think people need to stop and think. I think it's time we start demanding some answers. It's not right. This whole case is wrong. The people involved in this case, starting with Dawn and Candace, Grandis, and even Allie and Hunter, they're lying. They're all lying. And it bothers me that Hawkins County is just sitting on it. Yes, granted. Everybody, that was my cat, Calico Murray. Sorry. Yes, I understand that you got to keep some things back. But with the Watts case, they told us everything. It was all out there. Why is Hawkins County keeping shit a secret? You know why? They dropped the ball from the beginning. From when Summer was in her mother's stomach and Donnie was abusing her. And Candace called for DV and then turned around and canceled it. And then again when Jose was there. And there was another DV incident. And she got it. And then she canceled it. Those are two opportunities that both Hawkins County Sheriff Department and the Department of Children and Families could have saved those children. But they didn't. So because of those two dates. And those two government entities. Now summer is gone. And I personally think the Supreme Court needs to be made known of it because they could have saved Summer. They could have saved her. But they chose to close their eyes. I hold Hawkins County Sheriff's Office responsible for Summer missing. No one else. They're the reason why Summer is gone. Now, I know I kind of ran on this one, and I'm sorry. But those are a couple of things that have really bugged me about this case. I cannot wrap my head around it. I'm going to have to upload the first video and then this one. So hopefully I do it right in order. And as you guys can see, I am a crazy chicken mama. So watch this. What is it, Grim Grim? Grim. Come on, Grim Grim. His name is Grim Reaper. Oh, there went Skylar. Hi, Grim. What about Trub Trub? Troublemaker. If you listen, you can hear the difference in their crow. Come on, Chub Chub. I hear you, Poppy. Come on, Chub Chub. Oh, he's my Branch. Branch is my longest crowing one. He sounds like he's going to run out of breath. Trouble, you not going to crow, baby? And there goes my Skylar, my little sea bright. He tells me he loves me. All right, guys. Well, now that you got to hear my birds and you got to watch the video, please like and subscribe. Or if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. Just watch it through. And I probably should have said that in the beginning. I do that every time. Because I'm blonde. Not really, but I'm just figuratively blonde. Anyways, y'all have a great day. And cluck cluck from the chicken mommy. Because, as you hear, my boys are telling you goodbye.